How can you get your ex back if she doesn't love you anymore? The feelings of love just aren't there anymore. She used to look into your eyes and enjoy being in your arms, and she would have told you that she loved you. She would have been excited and happy to have been with you back then. It would have felt good. Yet, it just doesn't feel like that anymore. She's not in love with you. So, how can you get her back? Number 1, understand that feelings of romantic love can be created. The way that it works is that if a woman is feeling respect and attraction for a man, love flows. If she is losing respect and attraction for him, her love begins to fade. If she has lost all respect and attraction for him, her love stops flowing. She doesn't feel like she's in love with him anymore. She disconnects from the feelings of love. What a man needs to understand is that he is creating that effect. So when it comes to getting an ex back, if you make your ex feel respect and attraction for you again, she naturally begins to feel like she loves you, or at least can love you if she opens back up to you again. On the other hand, if you use the same old approach to attraction that got you dumped in the first place, then she's going to remain closed up. She won't be feeling respect and attraction for you, and therefore she won't feel like she is in love with you or could love you again. Essentially, the love that she feels for you is something that you create based on your approach to her. If your approach to your ex causes her to feel little or no respect and attraction for you, then she's not going to love you. On the other hand, if your approach makes her feel strong rushes of respect and attraction for the new and improved you, then she's either going to fall back in love with you or feel sparks of love and realize that she can fall back in love with you if she opens herself up to you again. So just to be clear here, the love that she feels for you is something that you create based on your approach to her. For example, a guy had become too insecure and emotionally sensitive in the relationship. As a result, she wasn't able to feel respect and attraction for him, and she fell out of love with him. Just like other women, she's not attracted to emotional sensitivity and insecurity in men. So, if he wants to create feelings of romantic love inside of her, he needs to quickly become more confident, more emotionally masculine, and more emotionally ballsy. He needs to man up, essentially. If he's able to do that right away, when in a relationship, it's going to avoid a breakup. If he's already been broken up with, he needs to quickly get that area of himself fixed, and he needs to interact with her and let her experience it. When he interacts with her and she can see that he is now a very confident, emotionally masculine, and emotionally ballsy man, she is naturally going to feel a renewed sense of respect and attraction for him. When that happens, she will automatically start to experience feelings of love for him. Another example is where a guy was too closed up emotionally in the relationship and didn't show his woman enough love. In a case like that, he needs to quickly become a more emotionally mature and open man without pressuring her to get back into a relationship with him. In cases like that, many guys make the mistake of not being very emotionally open during the relationship and not showing enough love, to then being way too emotionally open and showing way too much love. The woman then gets turned off because the guy is acting desperate. Women don't feel attracted to desperation in men. So if a guy is in a situation like that, he needs to quickly start being a more emotionally mature and emotionally open man, but he needs to chill, right? He needs to relax. He needs to take it easy and not be pouring his heart out to her and showing her way too much love and appreciation to the point where it appears desperate. Women aren't attracted to desperation in a man, so using that type of approach won't work. What you need to understand is that feelings of romantic love can be created. For example, if a guy is in a situation where his ex-woman really has her guard up, he needs to understand that he can create feelings of romantic love inside of her. He needs to make her feel a renewed sense of respect and attraction for him, and when he does, she will begin to feel sparks of love. Before he knows it, her guard will come down, she will open back up to him, and she will start feeling like she is in love with him again. This happens because a man can create feelings of romantic love inside of a woman. You don't have to leave it in her hands and hope that she comes back to you. You can actually make her feel respect, attraction, and love for you again. When she does, getting back with her is a natural and easy process. The second tip on how to get your ex back when she doesn't love you anymore is to get clear on the subtle ways that you have been turning her off. As you may know, women are more attracted to how a man makes her feel when he's interacting with her rather than how he looks. A woman can feel some attraction to a man's looks, but they are not merely as important as how he makes her feel based on his thinking, his words, his behavior, and his actions. A woman's attraction for you is largely based on who you are on the inside and how that comes out on the outside. So if you're insecure on the inside, that's going to come out as insecure words, feelings, behavior, and actions, and it's going to turn a woman off. If you're confident on the inside, the same rule applies. So if you want to get your ex back when she doesn't love you anymore, it's very important to understand where you've been turning her off in subtle ways. It really comes down to your behavior, your actions, your attitude, and the way that you've approached interactions with her and other people. That is what women really get turned on or turned off about when it comes to men. So here are some examples of subtle ways that a guy may have turned his woman off when in a relationship with her. He lacked confidence in how he talked to her or others. His body language was weak, unsure, nervous, stressed, needy, desperate, or feminine. He didn't have the emotional masculinity to be the leader of the relationship between him and her. He was unable to pass her simple confidence tests. For example, when she would roll her eyes at him, when she would play hard to get during a conversation, when she would pretend to be annoyed about things that she wasn't really annoyed about, and so on. Rather than remaining confident and being composed, he would get flustered, angry, or irritated at her for behaving in that way. He didn't understand that she was simply testing his confidence and trying to see how much of a man he really was on the inside. Another example, he was unable to make her feel feminine because he was too neutral, or he was a bit feminine in how he thought, felt, behaved, and acted. Another example, he made her feel neutral because he treated her more like a friend or a buddy rather than treating her like his sexy, feminine girl. Next example, he was too emotionally needy. He was clingy, jealous, and way too dependent on her for his sense of happiness and identity and value as a man in this world. Next example, he tended to get annoyed or angry about things that she thought he shouldn't get so worked up about. For example, when he was watching the news or when someone cut him off in traffic. And a final example, he expected her to respect him at all times but didn't offer her the same respect in return. It's important that you understand the subtle ways that you were turning her off during the relationship and may have been turning her off since the breakup. When you understand why she was really turned off by you and why she really fell out of love, you can then make the right changes and have the most impact on her. If you change things that she doesn't really care about, then she's not going to feel motivated to get back with you. For example, if you were already a good boyfriend or husband and you're trying to be even nicer and more generous and more giving, then it's most likely not going to hit the mark. You have to understand the subtle things about your thinking, behavior, and actions that have been turning her off, and then adjust those things. Now, for some guys, that might seem a little bit difficult. However, it's actually very easy. Most of the subtle behaviors that turn women off are connected to core issues in a man. For example, when a man lacks confidence in himself and feels unworthy of his woman, it'll cause all sorts of problems and turn her off in many subtle ways. For example, he'll become jealous, he may become controlling, he'll be emotionally sensitive, he'll be needy, and so on. He doesn't need to fix all of those things individually. Instead, he simply needs to improve his confidence and belief in himself. He needs to believe that he is worthy of her. He needs to have that confidence in himself. And as a result, all of the connected problems will begin to wither away. He will no longer be feeding his insecurity and jealousy and neediness with his lack of belief in himself. Instead, he will be feeding his self-assurance, his self-esteem, and his confidence. In reaction to that, his woman will naturally start to feel a renewed sense of respect and attraction for him. She will feel differently about him. She will look at him differently. She will think about him differently. And as a result, her guard will come down. She will no longer feel like it's not worth it for her to get back into a relationship with him. She will feel drawn to him. She will feel attracted, and he can then get her back. Number 3, don't try to get a relationship before she is fully re-attracted. A common mistake that guys make is that they start to make their ex-woman feel some attraction and then go straight for the kill. Right? The guy's pushing for a relationship, telling her how much she means to him and trying to get her to commit to being together in a serious relationship again. Don't do that if your woman broke up with you because she didn't love you anymore. Let her really want it. Let her feel drawn to you and be the one who is pushing for the relationship more than you. Right? She doesn't want to lose the feelings that she is experiencing now around you. She's feeling a renewed sense of respect and attraction. The love is flowing back again. She feels great and she doesn't want to lose that. As a result, she's naturally going to be wanting to push for a relationship. She's going to try to make it happen. Just make sure that you maintain your composure and don't jump the gun when she starts showing a little bit of interest. Why? Well, if you suddenly start pushing for a relationship, she might realize that she's making it too easy for you to get her back. She may then start to say things like, "I'm feeling confused. I'm not sure if we should be doing this. I think I need more time to think about it." Or, "I should go." And she then makes up an excuse why she has to be somewhere with someone else or go do something else. So the best way to approach it is to continue to build on her feelings of respect, attraction, and love for you, but don't push for a committed relationship. Don't try to get her to commit to being with you again. Just let her really want it. Allow her to feel the excitement of really wanting you and the relationship as she falls back in love with you. If you do that, she will make it so much easier for you to get her back. She won't want to play mind games and play hard to get because she will want the relationship just as much as you do. Tip number 4. Don't try to get her back just via text. If you just stick to text, you will almost always get stuck in conversations that go nowhere, and your woman will eventually go cold and stop replying. So make sure that you're willing to go beyond the texts where you actually meet up in person. The real magic happens when you re-attract her in person and you get her to hug you and kiss you and want to have sex with you again and then have sex with you. That's when things really happen quickly. However, if you just stick to text, it may go on for weeks, months, and even longer than that. During that time, she may move on and fall in love with a new guy and then completely go cold on you and stop replying altogether. Tip number 5. Avoid talking about your feelings for her before you and her are back together. A lot of guys get this wrong and end up losing their chance with their woman. As you would know, men and women are different. Women feel attracted to things about men that are different to what men feel attracted to in women. It really is different. For example, if a man broke up with a woman and she contacted him telling him how much she loves him and how much he means to her, it might not necessarily result in her getting him back, but it's not going to turn him off like it would turn a woman off if a guy sent something like that to her. Women don't like it when they break up with a man and he then sends a long letter or a long email expressing all his feelings for her. One of the reasons why is that romantic gestures from a man are only appealing to a woman when she feels attracted to him. When a woman breaks up with a guy, she usually doesn't feel attracted to him anymore. In your case, she doesn't love you anymore, which means that she stopped feeling respect for you, she doesn't feel attracted to you, and she doesn't love you. So if you're talking about your feelings for her and telling her how much she means to you prior to getting back with her, it's not going to go down well. She's not going to enjoy hearing that. So a general rule to go by is to focus on getting her back first, and then focus on the romantic side of the relationship. There's nothing wrong with telling your ex-woman that you love her and you miss her if she asks you, as long as you say it in a masculine type of way. For example, if she asks, "Do you still love me?" it's best to be honest, real, and masculine about it. So if she were to ask you something like, "Do you still love me?" it's best to say something like, "Yeah, of course I still love you." Alternatively, you can make her feel some attraction by using humor and being confident by saying something like, "Love you? No way. I hate you now." You can say that with a smile and she will obviously know that you're joking and then have a bit of a laugh. Then you can say, "Just kidding. Of course I still love you." Now compare that to saying it in a soppy, romantic type of way. She asks, "Do you still love me?" And the guy says, "Oh yes, I've never stopped loving you. I miss you all the time. I can't think and sleep properly and all I want to be with is you. I've never loved a woman as much as I love you. You mean the world to me. What we had is special," and so on. There's a big difference in that. For some guys who don't understand how a woman's attraction works, they might feel like it's the right thing to do to tell her how he feels in depth. However, I'm telling you now that it's not the right thing to do in terms of making her feel attracted and actually getting her back. Women do not feel attracted to the same things about men that we feel attracted to about women. You really have to use a different approach. You've got to use a masculine approach if you want a woman to naturally feel respect, attraction, and love for you. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video and learned something from it. If you'd like to learn more, I recommend that you watch my program, Get Your Ex Back Super System. When you watch the program, you will learn the quickest, easiest, and most effective way to get a woman back. At the moment, your ex doesn't love you, so you might think that it's impossible for you to get her back, but it's not. You can literally create feelings of romantic love inside of her. You are in control of the process. It comes down to what you say and do. When you use the techniques from the program, she will feel a renewed sense of respect and attraction for you. As a result, the love will begin to flow once again. She will fall back in love with you and she will enjoy it. So be confident in yourself and know that you can get her back. Other guys in your situation have done it and you can do it too. One final point that I want to make for you is that when a woman breaks up with a guy because she doesn't love him anymore, all it usually takes in most cases to change that is a spark of respect and attraction. When a woman feels some respect and attraction for a guy, she naturally starts to feel love for him again. However, if a woman doesn't feel respect and attraction and a guy is trying to tell her how much he loves her and trying to be romantic with her, she's not going to enjoy that. She's not going to feel motivated to get back with him. The love isn't going to be mutual. You can make her love you again, but just make sure that you approach it in the correct order. Make her feel a renewed sense of respect and attraction for you first, and then the love will start to flow again. What she may not understand right now is that the love you are going to make her feel is going to be stronger, more powerful, and more enjoyable than the love she used to feel for you. This is next level love. The reason why is that you are going to level up as a man. You are going to quickly improve as a man and attract her in new and interesting ways. She's going to experience feelings that she's never felt for you before. It's going to be enjoyable for both you and her. So if your ex doesn't love you at the moment, don't worry. You can change that. Feelings of romantic love can be created. When you interact with her and you're attracting her in new and more interesting ways, she is going to feel a renewed sense of respect and attraction for you. As a result, the love will start flowing again. You and her will then get back together naturally and easily. It won't be a struggle. It won't be about you trying to convince her to give you another chance. She will want to give you another chance because she will be in love with you again. So if your ex doesn't currently love you, don't give up. You can make her love you again. You can create feelings of romantic love inside of her again, and you can get her back.